Yeah, I might have to write a couple new chapters because if we don't restore global funding for TB programs, then a projected nearly 2 million people will die each year from tuberculosis. We haven't seen numbers like that since 2010, which means we would wipe out all the progress we've made in the last 15 years. Historically, the US has been a major contributor to funding TB programs around the world, but that has changed now since the administration cut 69% of TB funding from US aid. That means critical community-based TB activities like screening, testing, treatment initiation and adherence, mental health and nutrition support are all disrupted. So while there are still some life-saving treatments, the community health workers who ensure quality of care are no longer able to do their life-saving work. And here's what experts have to say about what's happening.
In Southern African countries, we are hearing devastating stories. A woman forced to share her medication with her husband, half of her medication with her husband to ensure continuation. A young person skipping doses to stretch limited supplies. In the absence of community health workers and other technical staff, of course, we will continue to hear these gruesome stories.
And what impact does that all have on patients? Well, let's listen to a patient.
कुछ अरसा पहले तक मेरा इलाज और देखभाल बहुत अच्छे तरीके से जारी था। हर महीने तुपाजी फाउंडेशन से डॉक्टर साहब अपनी तरबियत याफ्ता टीम के साथ मेरे घर आते, मगर बदकिस्मती से बैनुल अक़वामी फंडिंग की बंदिश के बाद सब कुछ रुक चुका है। ना कोई आता है, ना कोई पूछता है। मेरा इलाज अधूरा रह गया है। मैं तन्हा हूँ और मैं तन्हा इस बीमारी से जंग लड़ रही हूँ। मैं ये नहीं जानती कि आगे क्या होगा, नहीं जानती कि मैं कब तक ये बर्दाश्त कर सकूँ। मुझे फ़ौरन अपना इलाज, अपनी देखभाल और अपनी मदद दरकार है, इसके पहले कि बहुत देर हो जाए।
So we simply can't afford to wait. At the time of my recording this video, an estimated 12,275 lives have already been lost due to this disruption of work. And funding for research for new TB treatments and tests and vaccines have also been impacted. The US government's support for the global TB response doesn't just affect other countries, it also protects Americans by lowering global transmission of tuberculosis. Like, after a 3-decade decline, TB cases in the United States have been rising steadily since 2020. And if TB and drug-resistant TB rise in the US to current global average rates due to these funding cuts, the cost of treating TB cases in the US would increase to over $11 billion annually. That's 30 times more what we were spending before these budgets were cut. So these cuts are not just costing us lives, they are also costing us billions of dollars. After shutting everything down earlier this year, the US has slowly restarted a few of its global TB programs, and we're very grateful for that. But many more are still shuttered, and all of these programs and the funding have to be turned back on. If you agree, join me by calling your member of Congress and making your voice heard, because TB anywhere is TB everywhere.